Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing, first one of the season for this Monday, May 16th. This is Basil Numerzitsky. Taking a look at our fire potential impacts for the coming week, we're expecting cool and showery conditions for just about the entire Great Basin, with low pressure moving across the region through midweek, coolness, widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. Won't be raining all the time, probably just maybe 10% of the time, but over the course of the next 3 days should cover a fairly large area, and that low will depart and then very quickly followed by another low pressure system with more showers spreading from west to east over this upcoming weekend. Taking a look at precipitation over the past 7 days, has been fairly dry across southern and central areas. No precipitation across Nevada. There was some light fire activity, just a few acres of wildfire activity in the past few days in southern Nevada. The Wasatch, this shade of green you see here, is about a ½ inch to an inch, and more significant amounts of precipitation as we head up into the mountains of central Idaho and going into parts of western Wyoming. Taking a look at lightning over the past 24 hours, we had a pretty significant outbreak across parts of central Utah and a little bit scattered about further to the north. All told, about 2,500 lightning strikes. All came in fairly wet as the atmosphere is quite moist. Looking at a loop of radar imagery, we see scattered showers still about, rotating in a counterclockwise fashion through parts of southern Utah, back up through Colorado and Wyoming, and working their way back westwards across Idaho and then down towards Nevada. Whenever you see a counterclockwise flow, that usually indicates that the center of low pressure is right in the middle of that area, and that's what we're looking at across our region. Here's a look at our upper level map. Our typical upper air map with humidity colors is not available today, unfortunately, but looking through here, we see the center of low pressure here right across southern Idaho, near the points of Utah and Nevada, just where we saw on that radar loop. As we put the maps into motion, as we go further down the road into late today and into Tuesday morning, very slowly that low drops further south, but it lingers across the region, and throughout that whole area we're expecting instability with occasional showers and thunderstorms, especially during the peak heating hours during the afternoons, and that will continue through the day on Wednesday and into Thursday morning. Finally, that low departs by about Thursday morning, so it's going to be with us for about at least another 2.5 days. And during this first 3-day stretch from today through Wednesday night, we're expecting significant precipitation across the mountains of Idaho. The dark green signifies a 1/4 inch or more. The first shade of blue, over ½ an inch. Also extending throughout the Wasatch Front and into eastern Utah, and across at least 2/3 of Nevada, expecting anywhere from 1/10 to nearly ½ an inch as you go into central portions of Nevada. So as we proceed on the weather maps from Wednesday morning onwards, you see that low pressure departs, but we really don't have high pressure having enough time to build in because another deeper low pressure system is dropping down into the Pacific Northwest. As we put the maps into motion, as we go into Thursday evening and then towards Friday morning, see that low deepens across western Nevada and California. And by the time we get into Saturday morning, that low is just sitting in place but pushing up a southwest flow of moisture, especially across Nevada, and eventually should get spread further east into parts of Utah. So as we go from Thursday through early Saturday, you see the bulk of that precipitation spills over across California into far northern Nevada, maybe 1/10 to 1/4 inch, local pockets of a ½ inch along the Idaho border, and it's the mountains of central Idaho that get another 1/4 inch in that darkest green to a ½ inch or close to an inch in those two higher shades of blue, starting to spill in into extreme northwestern Utah. Other areas further to the south and east should stay fairly dry towards the end of this week. So as we continue with the forecast period, starting with Saturday morning and going through Saturday evening and Sunday, you see that the low pressure area slowly breaks off and pushes off to the east, starts falling apart a little bit by Sunday night, and then by Monday morning pushes through Utah and into Colorado. We're still under wraps under this low, although the center of it and most of its moisture will be to our north, and another low pushing in, approaching the Pacific Northwest. So really no sunny, warm, dry conditions in sight for the next 7 days at least, and probably a ways beyond. So if you look at the time periods from Saturday morning through Monday morning, an additional tenth to a quarter inch of rain across northern portions of Nevada and Utah and up into the mountains of central Idaho. And Idaho is really going to get the brunt of the precipitation over the next 7 days. Areas to the south should stay fairly dry and will not heat up, but should at least remain rain-free. So if you look at total precipitation for the next 7-day total, all added up, all those days, heaviest amounts across the mountains of central Idaho, where these light blue to purple shades indicate an inch and a quarter to an inch and a half of total precipitation. About a half inch to an inch across some of the mountains of eastern Nevada, and same across the Wasatch. Areas that kind of miss out, you can see this first shade of green, which is just a trace of rainfall to less than a tenth of an inch across southern Nevada and across the shadow areas of the Sierra, and even in the Arizona Strip, getting a little bit, at least a tenth to a quarter of an inch, areas north of the Grand Canyon. So taking a look at our 7-day outlook, and on the right you see all of our predictive service areas or zones from Idaho all the way through Nevada, Utah, and the Arizona Strip are green or basically moist through the entire 7-day period. You can see the interactive map on the left side of your screen. This is Sunday going to Monday, and then Tuesday you see some surrounding areas across the regions change, but by and large things stay green through the entire period. We're not expecting any significant fire potential in this very moist, wet pattern as we go into, now we're into Friday, and then going into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. On the map, all our zones remain in the green, as are some of our adjacent neighbors here in California off to our west. So taking a look at our 8 to 14 day outlook for next week, from days 8 to 14, so starting from next Monday, you can see that we continue that pattern of a cooler than normal signal across the Four Corners area and a good portion of the Great Basin into parts of the northern Rockies. And at the same time, expected precipitation over the 8 to 14 day period. We maintain that wetter than normal expectation across our northern areas, but from about central Utah, central Nevada on south, we very quickly normalize and actually go below normal precipitation for southern areas of Utah down into northern Arizona. And this concludes our briefing. Our next briefing will be coming up tomorrow morning, and again will be issued Monday through Friday for the next 2 weeks before we go to 7-day operations. Have a great day.